What's up guys, Thork here, and today I want to showcase my live server Dual Curse Frenzy Barb. As you can see, I'm wearing two Doombringers, which procs Weaken, and if you don't know, Weaken makes enemies do a little less damage to you. And then I'm wearing Atmas with ED to proc my amp damage. If you saw the other video I did in Pluggy, I was wearing a Wraithlight, I believe here. Not a Wraithlight, Lacerator. I was wearing a Lacerator here to proc the amp, and obviously that takes away from my top end damage a lot. That's where wearing two Doombringers really comes in. So before we really dive deep into the gear and the stats, we're going to open this map. It's not overly dense, it's not even slammed, but it's going to be a good map to test this out. There's a few maps that are really good with this, and I would say Cistern, Horizons, Throne, those are all great maps for this. Phlegathon, actually the Taurian Jungle's pretty good, and I have absolutely no PDR on this build, but if you did wear String of Ears and maybe had some PDR slams, you'd be a little better in some of the other T3s. So, first, it does take a minute for me to get 5-frame attacks with Frenzy, but once my stacks build up, I get it. You can see the amp damage procced. Now, if I'm feeling lazy, and I just hold in on Frenzy, still pretty fast. Pretty much one-shotting everything, but double swing is a little bit faster. Don't worry, I'm going to go back and pick up the items. Just want to focus on video right now. So, there's Weaken, and on champ packs and bosses, it procs a little more. Now, good to note that these monsters have like 1200 replenished life, so there's instances where the momentum would feel a lot faster than this. So, for more DPS, you could use an Act 2 Merc, maybe Defiance or Blessed Aim, with a Pride and Templars, but I like this a lot. I like running really fast. You guys saw my Vengeance Paladin, not the video I did this season, but the one that I played last season. Pretty much built it around faster run walk. So this seems a little slow because of the replenished life, but typically finishes a rare Horizons in about 7 minutes. One place where this really excels is doing damage against bosses, even when they're surrounded by mobs.
Colossal.
Alright, so the map is clear. The game's been open for less than 10 minutes, and I definitely had the game open for a few minutes before I started the map, so that's a rare map. If it was slammed, I'd probably be at around 10 minutes, which is okay. Now, it's also good to note that we did a 7 to 8 minute map that had replenished life, so it would be a lot faster without that mod. So my takeaways are that I think you can make a stronger Frenzy Barb with other gear, but my favorite thing about PD2 is really trying something and taking it as far as possible. So let's get into the gear. We have one Doombringer with 3 ohms that's slammed for enhanced damage already. Got it up to 473 ED, so 637 top end. 40 ED joules with max damage, could take it even further, so that's kind of my goal for the future. So it adds flat damage, it gives a 40% bonus to attack rating, has 6% lifesteal, so it gives you a shit ton of health and attack rating. Ray cores is a big part of this build, probably the main part. So I've got one with CBF, and right now just an all-res jewel and an increased attack speed jewel, so that's something that seriously needs upgrading. This is really nice, the Atmos with ED. Fortitude, that rolled 262, so I've got to re-roll this to get a little closer to 300 as well. Attack speed soul drainers, those are nice. Wisp projector, the how is super important, gives you attack rating and damage. Nos coil with run walk. DK ring, light res, not exactly the slams on the rings that I want either. War Travs with life after kill. And then I've got pretty good charms, but this could be taken a lot further as well. I'm happy with this character though. I actually use it to do my mini Ubers as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any keys left. With some forethought, I would have prepared for that and recorded some mini Ubers, but But yeah, it's super straightforward. It reminds me a lot of a Zealer. You just leech and don't have to use many potions, and the mini Ubers are pretty easy. So a 5320 torch given to me by Deckvo and Frankie Fresh. That is a really nice torch. And then an Annie that I actually slammed today with 6426 energy. I was really hoping for the 2 skills. One thing I forgot to mention is that this Doombringer has Deadly Strike and ED on the slam. So I'm using 2 Grandfathers with +5 to War Cries still. And now my Merc, this is also very important. The Templar's Might for the Might Aura, and the Faith for Fana. Fana makes this build a lot easier to work with because you don't need as much IAS to hit the 5 attacks breakpoint. The good thing about Double Swing is the breakpoint's super low. I don't have them memorized right now, but I only have 50 and it's much more than enough that I need. Drax for attack speed and lifesteal. Noscoil for the same reason, and Wartravs because that's what I had sitting around. The Vamp Gaze, I had to put these 2 jewels in and a hell in this to make it all work. So certainly not a perfect character, but it's really good, I think. I'm really proud of this. Okay, so outside of town, cast my buffs. That's already going. I don't know why I just did that. Okay, you can see Frenzy's at 18 to 17, and then Double Swing's at 19, 17. I could use some better res as well. Enough strength for gear dumped into Vitality. I have 20 FCR from the Fortitude. Kind of useful actually because it makes this faster. Battle Cry is super useful for killing bosses. And then FHR is at 27. I want to get that up to the 48 breakpoint because it's really annoying when you're frenzying and you get knocked out of your animation. So like I said, the res needs a bit of work. Deadly Strike is at 10, but that's not really what it's sitting at. I mean, we have 25 just on this weapon alone. 20 life leech, and you also have some crit from your mastery as well. General mastery for this. One nice thing about Raycors is that it gives you mana leech, so you don't really need it on your rings at all. You don't have to get a dual leech ring. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like if you want to watch more build videos. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you on the next one.